Hey guys, thanks for joining me on the But Mostly Disney podcast, which basically is just a way to be able to talk about anything we want. It's funny though, But Mostly Disney obviously comes from the Muppets. We talked about that last week, but when I say it out loud, I always think of Princess Bride. He's only mostly dead. So is the audio good? I hope it is. I didn't ask before I started, but we'll find out. That's the joy of being live. So if this is your first time listening, thanks. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. I wanted to find a way to share my love of Disney with others who are like-minded, maybe even convince somebody to come over from the dark side and become a Disney person. I don't like to say Disney adult. I think that sounds weird because I don't like to think of myself as much of an adult. So each week I'm going to come up with a little topic or some questions, or really more to the point, you guys come up with the topic. This is really about us sharing stuff and talking about things and all things mostly Disney. So with that, I do have some notes, and if you know me, then you know that that's unusual. But Disney announced this week, I know we've all been talking about the Premier Multipass, Lightning Lane Multipass Premier. It's got a complicated name, like all things. I worry, or I wonder at least about Disney. We've now gone from, well, in the full history, when I started, I remember having the little paper ones. So we would run in each day, and I remember running into, I guess it was Hollywood then, but I was going to say MGM, but racing in over to Toy Story Mania because that sold out. All the fast passes were gone at 9 a.m. So a lot of these problems we're having are not new. They've been going on for quite some time. It's always been unfair. There've always been complaints. There is no perfect system. So, as Lou Mangello would say, choosing the good here. I do think about it, but I enjoyed that. It was a hassle. I think actually my wife would take the kids and go register for Jedi Academy, which I hope they bring back because I haven't seen that since COVID. And I would go get the Buzz Lightyear Midway Mania Fast Passes. And then they changed that to Fast Pass Plus, I think, online. And I liked that. That so far has been my favorite. It was free. Everybody got 3. And then what you did is I think it was like 90 days out, maybe even 6 months. It was a long time out before it started. And I would start planning, and I loved that. I loved the fact that, even though Disney was a little far away, it gave us something kind of Disney to do, to log into My Disney on the computer, and the kids would lay on the bed, and we would sit there and go through and try to figure out our 3 fast passes, what we wanted each day, what was most important, and how we were going to do that. So I liked that aspect of the planning, even though I'm not really a big planner guy. Those things I did, that and dining reservations, right? That's a whole nother show. So then we moved to Genie Plus. And that's where, for me, and again, I get up every day and read Disney stuff. I watch Disney videos. It's probably 80% of the content that I consume. And that's where it started to get a little complicated. I liked it in theory, and I did get used to it after a while, where I could maneuver through and maybe get some more for the afternoon and figure out how that worked. Then we switched it up. And I guess when they started charging for it, it became Lightning Lane. And as I can't remember if we talked about it last time or not, but I know I've talked to so many people about screwing that up so badly. I mean, I really messed that up. And I watched Mammoth Club. That girl's really organized. She has a really good way of explaining things, a lot of good research. And I watched an hour and 20-minute video on that and thought I had it down, and then got there, bought it day before, which, I think I saw, who was it today? Adam the Woo, maybe. And he was talking about, hey, I'm going into Hollywood, and now I'm going to buy the Fat Lightning Lane. Oh, but there's nothing till 8:00. And so if you don't, it seems to me, get that 3-day out planning going, right? Then you're really not going to be able to really take full advantage of it, at least not get the morning ones. I've only tried it once, so I could be very wrong, as in with most things I do. But that was the experience I had. And then not checking in because we kept messing it up. So I basically paid $27 times 3 for us to ride Tiana. And I wanted to ride Tiana, so that was good. Now we have Lightning Lane Premier. And maybe an unpopular opinion, I don't know, tell me what you guys think. I'm okay with it. It's I I've stayed at All Star Sports. I've stayed at Riverside, which I love and is growing on me to become one of my favorite resorts. And we've stayed at Polynesian Contemporary Beach Club. So we move up and down the sliding scale of resorts. And I'm frankly okay with that being a perk for what you pay for those resorts. It would be nice if it was included, right? But those resorts are just too big to include everybody, like Universal does. I haven't tried out Universal's system. We may go over Christmas, and then we're going to stay in a deluxe resort there to get the free their free version of Fast Pass. But and I'm everybody's posted about it, but I posted today. I think if we did the lowest tier of this, so you're talking $500 to $900 a night, maybe for a hotel room, several $100s a day for food, it would have cost us about $1,600 to do Magic Kingdom for a family of 5, right? For one day. And I'll side note here, in my opinion, that's probably the only park where I could see it being worthwhile. Genie Plus worked pretty well for me in Magic Kingdom. The other ones, rope drop, single rider, there's a lot of ways to do it for free. So 16, I think I also posted today. I know I posted today. I think the numbers are right. I'm not that crazy that I can't figure out when I post and don't post. Although I post enough that sometimes it could be confusing, much like this run-on sentence. Anyway, $8,600, something like that. And you could have all 4 parks plus admission tickets, right? So $8,600 to have lightning lanes for everything each day. And that's at the lowest tier. That's at the lowest possible number. And that's a lot of money. I mean, I keep all my receipts, and maybe I'll do a show on that and show you how it's gone up each year. I have the prices for everything going back, gosh, I think almost at least 15 years, if not more. And it's gone from, $5,000, which was crazy, that if we'd have done our normal, we try to do 8 days because we like to do park day off, it was going to be $10,000. And that's a lot. I mean, now that included food. That did include food. I think last year, there was no dining plan. So 10 grand, I mean, we spend that in food maybe anyway, but to write that check up front, that's a lot of money. I mean, Disney is getting very expensive. We've done it in smaller chunks. I'm going next weekend for Jollywood Nights opening night. So like a true person who does YouTube, because I hate the word YouTuber. A person with YouTube. It doesn't matter. A YouTuber. I'll be there on opening night and then post that right away. So I'm excited about that to see how that affects the algorithm and feeding things. But we're staying at the Wyndham. There's 3 of us, and it's like $120, add your resort fee, $160 a night. And for All-Star Sports, it would have been $75 more, but it was more. So decided to save the money. Plus, I like a hot tub. I got bad shoulders. We like to soak in a hot tub at night, and that is the big thing with value resorts, right? No hot tubs. That's the difference. That and the amount of people in the pool. So, I didn't even look, honestly, to see when this goes in effect. But looking at these prices, I mean, Magic Kingdom, $329. So you're looking at $200 more than a park ticket, $175 more than a park ticket to do this. And then as much as $449, though I have a feeling that that'll be, Christmas. I mean, these will be the really big days. Animal Kingdom, $129 to $199. Epcot, $169 to $249, and then Hollywood, $269 to $349. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of money, considering, like, if I go, when Seamus went, my son Seamus, when we went, and I went to Lou Mongello's Momentum weekend, he came over from Jacksonville, where he's in school, and went over, and I bought a park ticket for Hollywood on a Sunday, and I think it was $170 for the park ticket. So now you're looking at adding on at least $269 to that for him to be able to ride everything. That's a lot. I mean, where do you just draw the line and do, fire right into a VIP tour? I mean, maybe that's the play if you're going to spend that money. And again, you don't have to. You don't have to spend the money. You can just go wait in line. you can go and do regular Genie Plus, which is $27 or something. Let's call it $30 a day. So there are options. But if you did a VIP tour and you had another, like we're 5, so we had another family of 5, you split that in 2, you're looking at $200 an hour. Maybe it's cheaper. And then you go to the parks the other day and just kind of relax. I did a video on what I call the other half of Animal Kingdom, and I've got another one that I need to post and finish editing from doing Epcot the same way, skipping the rides. I think we did do Guardians. I got up at 7 and got that, but we didn't spend any money on Genie Plus. We went and saw the movies, which I hadn't seen in forever. I mean, it was awesome. It was 2 of the greatest days I've had at Disney because there was no rush, no worry about not getting on anything. And I loved it. I had a blast. I thought it was a lot of fun. So that's Lightning Lane Premiere. What I wish, I think, to kind of finish up what I think about this is I wish that so you got 3 levels, right? You've got top tier, which we know is a lot of money, and there's someone who's going to spend it, and God bless them. And I don't mind that it's unavailable to me, that it's out of my reach. I'm okay with that. It doesn't get in my way, doesn't stop anything. I'm okay. You've got your middle tier, which will be Genie Plus. So $30 a person, which still adds up, right? 30, 60, 120, $150 extra a day for my family of 5 to go get these lightning lanes. And again, we're only doing it at Magic Kingdom, but still, it's a lot. And then you got your bottom tier, which is nothing. Like, you don't get anything on the bottom tier. I'm not sure how I would do it, but if I was armchair quarterbacking it, I think I would go ahead and give everybody 3 fast passes again, or lightning lanes. Everybody gets 3, if that's possible. Maybe it's not. Maybe because the amount of people and the way it works, you just can't do it. Or maybe 1. You can get 1 at a time. If you're staying on property, you get 1 at a time. That way you go, you rope drop, you do Peter Pan, you do Space Mountain, maybe get in line for 7 Dwarfs, and then get a fast pass. It's hard to mean, a lightning lane. I'm just going to say fast pass forever. A lightning lane for Haunted Mansion. And then when you check in there, you get it for Jungle Cruise. And maybe you could do 1, just something to help people out so that at least, there's a small amount of guilt and a lot amount of joy of going through that lightning lane. Lightning lane. I always feel bad looking at the people. I kind of shield my eyes. I don't want to make eye contact as they go by. And then it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome walking by. So maybe something for free. So everybody gets a little taste of it. And then you think, hey, I went last year. I got the free one. I want 3 more. I'm going to go ahead and spend the money. That'll work well in audio, taking a drink. All right. As again, I'm not trying to make these 2 hours long. I want to show you one of my most prized possessions. This is a map of the Disney World that was not. And this was made by Jeremy Goff, who I don't expect to show up, but he had D signs and then he had D shirts, and I wish he would go back to doing it. He does Golf Stock live on Fridays, and it's a lot of fun. He plays guitar. He's a really talented, funny individual. And it's interesting, and that's what I love about these groups and why I want to start my own is because I met him randomly, bumped into him at Disney, at World of Disney, and got a hug and a high five, and it was just so cool. And now we chat frequently. Or like Andrew and Caleb. I mean, these people that I can ask questions and bounce off of. It's pretty fun. But I love this. This hangs on my Disney wall, which someday I'll show you. But if you look, you got a hotel up here. You got a hotel here. Oh, wrong way. And a hotel here. And that, my friend, is not the Grand Floridian. These hotels, I mean, they had some big plans that I am just fascinated by. So right now, I think they have 25. All of these facts and figures are subject to being absolutely wrong. And I stole almost all of this exclusively from Bright Sun Films. So if you've not watched any of Bright Sun Films stuff, that guy is so good at what he does. And he's just fascinating. I watch things about abandoned malls. I don't even know why. But his Disney stuff, and he can be critical. He tells the truth, what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he went through all of these hotels that were, and this was the 1970 plan. And I think this was intended to be the phase 1 to build all of this. The first phase was the golf course, contemporary, campground, and the Polynesian. which at that time, and let me see if I can get the slide up. This is so silly. I had a whole slide for that. This is why it's free, guys. There's a logo I made this past week, so I'm excited about that. I will show you, just take a quick second, another Corner of Maine shirt. Not a sponsor. I bought 3, and I just thought I'd show you guys these each week because they're kind of cool. And he's drinking coffee, which I like because I don't drink. So I really like the shirts. They're great quality. They look really good. I love them. So Corner of Maine. And again, I thought it was one of those maybe fly-by. There's nothing there now, huh? Sorry. Fly-by-night shops, but they're great quality. The only thing, I can't get in touch with their customer service. I just wanted to tell them how much I liked them. So you've got the Persian here. Oh, that's not showing up on my... There it is. Oh, because of the delay. Duh. The Venetian and the Asian hotel. I mean, these were going to be really cool. And it's funny because you see, I guess you're seeing it so late. There you go. You see where the where that Asian hotel was supposed to be, that big square thing. And I never realized that's what they put Grand Floridian on it. It makes perfect sense. Venetian right next to Polynesian, and the Persian way back there behind Tomorrowland. Here's another view. And you can see that they left that big square area of land there for these hotels to be built. The next project after they got all of these, the ones we know put together, in 71, the Asian was the next one. It was going to be 600 rooms, 160-foot lobby. And I love, like, Animal Kingdom. Those lobbies are at one of the Wilderness Lodge, just these incredible Floridian, these incredible tall lobbies. If I had a complaint, and I do, about, for instance, the Riviera, which, another unpopular opinion, I didn't love. I thought the lobby was just kind of a lobby. It wasn't, you walk into Grand Floridian and your breath is just, it's taken away. It's blown away. It's so beautiful. So this was going to have a huge atrium and lobby with 100 people with an observation lounge on the top. It's going to be rectangular, and so during that construction and dredging of the Seven Seas Lagoon, they left a big square. In 1972, the annual report said the construction had been in 74 and opened later that year. And they were saying that at that point in time, and so 1972, they were turning away an average of 1,100 guest room requests a day. So 1,100 people were trying to book hotels and couldn't because those 2 hotels were max occupancy. And then 1973, oil crisis. And so everyone was worried about what that was going to happen to the economy, especially for car-based tourism. So it was reduced. In 80, they put a model up at the Asian Resort again with some of the green roof, and we're gonna think about doing it again. But it just didn't happen, right? Which is a shame because I just love the way those hotels would have looked. I think this is the model. All of these would have just been incredible. Look at that. That's the Persian. We're going to talk about that here in a sec. Just amazing. Sorry. So from there, the Persian result, which would have been back behind Tomorrowland, right? That would have sat over there off behind the Contemporary, and the idea was to have the monorail line go through that. So you would have had another hotel on the monorail, which wouldn't have hurt anybody's feelings, I'm sure. And this is all with Eisner coming in 84 and starting the Disney Development Corporation, or DDC. So the Persian result was then slated. They're going to put it up to the east. Obviously, very much really neat architecture and having that monorail run right through it. But they skipped the monorail and decided to keep it where it was. And in 78, they were actually in talks with the Shah of Iran to. He took a personal interest in the hotel, and they were hoping maybe he might help fund it as they we're always looking for money. Walt got Monsanto and Ford and all these companies to help out, so why not? but they were also kind of in the middle of a revolution, and that didn't work out well. And now it's a cast member parking area and equipment stage. So not exactly the hotel we were hoping for. It I did look today on Google Maps, and I did not make a slide of it. I have seen in my years of going this little area in front of kind of off the Contemporary to the left of the bridge where the Venetian was slated to go. That I had read somewhere a while back that they did some ground testing, and it just wasn't going to be great for building on. But they put it together. It was going to have 2 big pools and 2 lakes with little channels cut through the hotels. I mean, it was really going to be a flagship 5-star hotel. It would have been probably the nicest hotel at Walt Disney World. They get a gondola ride to St. Mark's Square, a recreation complete with a 120-foot replica of the Campanelli Tower. But this also did not get approved, even though Eisner, certainly tried it. They had a couple things. They also tried over there Cypress Point Lodge, which would have been over there near Wilderness Lodge, and I think that's actually what it was going to be. Small, 550 hotel rooms at first, 3 buildings and 50 cabins. Kind of a relaxed resort, chimneys, wooden columns, similar to the lodges of the Great West, and that was announced with the Floridian and the Mediterranean. And just as the land was being prepared for pilings and the foundation, it disappeared, right? The strategic planning group ultimately considered an unlikely candidate for corporate approval, and the project was shelved by the dawn of the millennium. And now Eisner's gone, and so him overseeing the aspects of these projects, and thank God he was there. Euro Disney, it hurt, obviously, but he really did a good job of getting those resorts built and getting behind and championing those projects he loved. But the Disney Strategic Planning Group, like always, I mean, look, it has to be sustainable, right? It has to make money. We need that. In order for the magic to happen, there has to be a corporate side. And as much as we might not like it, it's got to be there. I started an alumni group for a church camp that I went to as a kid and worked there, and then was on the board of directors. And the board of directors was awful because it was business and bills and toilet paper. But you needed that kind of business. You had to think about the business so that the summer camp, the mission really was there. And that's what we're looking at here. So again, the fun thing is that all this D23 Blue Sky stuff, none of this is new, right? All of this has been going on since the dawn of Disney doing these things. There was even going to be a hotel at Disney Hollywood, and kind of an Art Deco tower, and they were bringing in these famous architects to come in, and that's why I think a lot of these hotels don't scream Disney. That new Wilderness Lodge looks an awful lot to me like a Wilderness Lodged version of the new Polynesian Tower, with Moana stuck in the middle of Pocahontas stuck in the middle of the lobby. And I love the IP. I was just talking about Country Bears Jamboree today. If you haven't seen it, I think it's awesome. And do I miss Big Al? Absolutely. And do I miss Blood on the Sandal and all the guys that turn me on, turn me down? And singing, I probably shouldn't do. I miss those, but I love the new one. I think there are kids who are not going to get that. Times are changing, and I think they really tenderly hugged the old one and got this new Country Bears Jamboree. So we have to have some of that going on. But I just don't think that the Riviera is the most Disney hotel there is. My oldest kid, who's in art school, has a lot to say about this, but they're not here. It's just us. We'll leave that alone. The other one that I found, and Bright Suns Film had this on their River Country video. They were going to build a 600 hotel room over there called Buffalo Junction, and this would have been so cool because they got rid of the train over there, which I think was a big mistake. I'm sure they had their reasons. But this would have been just awesome. 600 hotel rooms. It would have been over there by River Country, kind of similar to the boardwalk in style. It would have been like but themed to the Old West. So an old Wild West street with horses on sawdust-strewn streets, and would have had a copy of the Buffalo Wild West show. and a standalone dance hall and steakhouse. And we have some of that over there, but it would have been cool to have just one street, maybe right beside River Country, and it would have just been neat. It makes me really nervous. And then I started talking. So after Cypress Point got redesigned into, I think, what we call Wilderness Lodge. Again, please do your own fact checking. Some of this I'm just going to make up for fun. They hired another architect, someone who's known from straying away from conventional architecture, right? And in '89, he started drawing a new resort on the plot of land where the Venetian was supposed to go. Working alongside, he crafted a 1,000-room hotel and convention center, and it was designed to be a structure that was never really attempted on North America. It would have been close to the Magic Kingdom. The structure would have angled out towards the park with a large amphitheater and a viewing up top for the fireworks. And it was a serious project. I mean, this had pilings in there. Things were ready to go, and then again scrapped, which is a bummer because I think one more hotel on the monorail line would be pretty fantastic. So that's my rendition of stealing from Bright Sun Films to talk about that. And that's really all I have for tonight. I'm excited to go. I'm going down next weekend for Lou Mangello's, and I don't have slides like he does, but his night at the Tip Top Club in an undisclosed location. Last time I heard, there were some tickets left. I don't know if they are still or not, but my oldest kid and I are going to go shopping this week for some 1930s attire, and if I can film that, I will. This week's video on YouTube, I stayed at south of the border, and if you don't drive from north of Florida to Florida, like from Virginia, we go down 95, and it is just this neon. It's crazy, and my wife will never let us stay there. She let us eat there one time, and we've stopped for fireworks, but it's a little scary. I didn't get murdered. Obviously, I'm here. Everything was fine. But that video is pretty fun, and really, again, another piece of Americana that's kind of deteriorating away. So that'll come up next week, and then hopefully, with any luck, I will have a co-host next week, which I think will really add some texture to the show. And keep me from sweating all day and doing this and panic napping because I haven't felt well the last 2 days. But tell me what you think. How's it going? This is episode 2, so I'm not expecting miracles here. It's fun. I like preparing for it. I spend a lot of time, probably more than I should, preparing for it. And but I'm having a good time. Well, I haven't even looked to see if anyone ever downloaded the audio. They probably shouldn't. It's really more about having a little more fun on YouTube and maybe having you guys pop in and say hi, which you did. So if anyone's still watching, thanks. Join us next week. Again, surprise co-host. We're going to try to work it out on Monday and see if we can get it done. And then either Thursday evening or Friday morning, I may have to do it from the car. We are going to head down to Disney. So I'll have some live video from down there, I hope. And let me know what you'd like to see. We're going to go to Hollywood at night, but then do another park. And right now we're leaning toward Epcot. So if there's anything you'd like to specifically see at Epcot, let me know. Check me out on Instagram, but mostly Disney. On Facebook, I'm still Sean Robertson. I don't know how to change that. I'm kind of one thing at a time. And I still haven't gotten a newsletter together, which I'm sure everyone's really upset about. But thanks for watching. Please, if there's anything I can do for you, reach out. I have an email. It's not on here, but it's but mostly Disney1923@gmail. If there's something I can do to help you out. Andrew and I have been talking. Please check out Accessible Answers with Andrew. He's got a great YouTube channel going, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And Caleb, Fantasyland Adventures, he's got more news and things that go on because it's amazing how much I miss. Like even doing this tonight, I know this has been done about these hotels. It's not new. But watching Bright Sun's video, I learned something new. And please, again, I don't know how to properly credit this. I don't know if I'm taking from him. I really want to make sure he gets the credit because he's incredible. So thanks for watching. Yeah, Caleb, I'd love to have you on. I've got to figure out how to do it. And that would be great. Because I mean, frankly, you know a lot more about Disney than I do. I'm really kind of in a place where you guys are the expert and I'm just learning. So I would love to have you on. Andrew, take care. Caleb, take care. Thanks for watching. And I'll leave you with a little more Soarin' music and some clouds. Have a really big day.